Well, we've been asked to make some comment about the use of filters and selection in gCADPlus drawings. So I have a little dummy drawing here which contains quite a number of different entities. There's some polyline there, there's another polyline, this one is an ellipse, and here a polygon, and here a rectangle, this one's a block. So you can see that in this zone here I have quite a lot of different entities. I've also put in a leader, part of the dimensioning tools. Now good idea to regen the drawing just before you start this. If I grab an area of the drawing like so, notice over here in the properties box there's the word all and 15 is showing. And if I click the down arrow here, and you see there's a list of all of the entity types that appears in what's called the selection set, all the entities that have got a handle that's highlighted. So we can in fact filter that group. For example, if we wanted to find all the polylines there, we can click on the word polyline. There are 3 of them. And if I now zoom in a little, it's a little difficult to see perhaps in the movie here on your screen, but the outline of the polylines changes, and a polygon is seen in fact as a polyline, changes colour, and it's a greeny blue colour. What that means is that we can operate on just the polylines that's inside this complex selection set. So I can say change from a layer plant symbol to say a temp layer, and now they sit on a temp layer. So I've been able to change the layer of a whole group of entities. Then you could, if you wanted to, go to tools and isolate a layer, isolate the temp entity, and here they are. So at this point you could grab them all, and using properties you could change their color if you wanted to. If they were text, you could change the text style and so on. So we can change line weights. Let's give it a nice fat line weight so it becomes obvious, and we'll unselect all. So we can operate on all of these, and then we could come back to the layers set and say we want all used layers on, and there we are. So we've operated on that particular entity which was filtered from a very large group. A little tool that might help here, especially when you've got entities grouped together in a very tight little bunch, is go to Tools and Selection, and we'll select by a polygon. So let's imagine we'll start our selection polygon like so, and we'll come through there and around. You can see what I'm doing. I'm working in a very crowded part of the drawing to create a zone for selection. And if I click over here, that will create that zone for us. And we've found now 7 different entity types within the group which we established by using a polygon. So once again, we could just isolate the ellipse, and you'll notice that it changes color, and that's an ellipse on a particular layer. So we could put it back onto, say, a temp layer again and isolate it in the way that we've done. But it's an ellipse, so again we could change the major radius. So let's make it 600, and we'll make the minor radius 200 to change, and you can see the ellipse changed. So we were able to operate on the properties of the ellipse, which we have chosen using a more complex tool for selection. So once again, you just grab any part of the drawing and you can use the tools here to filter the list. We would like one day to get the actual filter select by filter tool going, where you might say, I want to select all entities that are red and on a particular layer, but we haven't yet enough funds to implement that in gCADPlus. But we do have, I think, some fairly complex and useful selection tools. So I hope that assists in your understanding of selection and selection sets in the gCADPlus environment.